All right, I think we can go ahead. He said, I guess he's a little busy, so he said unless we need him, he won't be
No,
interested.
we're good.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Regardless, again, I'm gonna be sending the recording so he can like refer back to it later.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And actually, what I noticed is that you launched your first campaign. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I actually saw that that's the one like for referring a friend, like downloading for social media and everything. And like you constructed everything really good and it looked really good. I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
So today we're gonna be talking about direct mail because in the last call there was some issues, and again I apologize for that. So we're gonna start off with the audiences. I'm gonna go ahead and click create new. And for now, we're gonna go with acquiring new customers to like use the direct mail audience. I'm just gonna go with like ST example in here. Oh, I think we do have one. Do you mind if I added one of these that we created?
No, that's fine. There we got
Yeah, not to
three
like,
of them. We got four of them right there. We're all testing
oh my,
them.
gotcha, gotcha. So you already like played around. I think I'm not gonna say anything new, but like regardless. Okay. So I'm just gonna edit the one that we created but didn't open and hope for the best. Let's see if that opens. Should be. Da, da, da. Okay, okay, perfect. I was stressing a little. Um, okay, so I'm gonna ask you to give me like a couple of zip codes. We can choose like up to five for the audiences to kind of like play around with the inclusion, exclusion to see what we have in there. So any
Oh,
zip codes that you have in your mind or like cities.
Matt, you want to throw some out there?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. So I want to try 18901 and
Okay.
18938
3A. Mm-hmm.
and can we do 18944?
All right, perfect. Anything else?
If you want to do 18940, I'll throw that in there too. That's going to give us Newtown, I think.
Okay. All right, so now on the right, you'll see that it's fetching the properties to show us what we have in there. So this takes a little time, and I think you're like aware of it if you played around that much. So let's give it
Yeah.
a moment. Okay, perfect. So now we have 17, almost 18,000 people. And I think for like direct mail campaign, it's like extremely too much because you're going to be printing postcards and like from the side of like the expenses, it's going to be too much. So we're going to play with the inclusion group in here.
So did that reach just increase? Is it still actively populating? It looked like it just jumped up.
Yeah. This is like 27, 28. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. So it's kind of like finding the properties, and it was like still loading when I said the 18,000, but currently I think that's it.
Looks like it's
Yeah.
still spinning up there in the corner. Is that what that means? That spinning wheel in the corner of the map?
Um,
You
I
see
think
like up
it
in the
is
gray
a little
in
like
the
yes,
gray
yes,
box?
see?
Yeah. So it's now it's up to
Okay,
40,000. So
now I
okay,
think
so
it's done.
this may have been what we
Oh
were
my
doing
God.
wrong, John. We were only seeing because we when we tried to do this the other day, we were only seeing very small audiences, and it may have been
Uh-huh.
that we just weren't allowing them to populate quickly enough.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. But I think the spinning is done, so it's like 41,000 almost.
Right.
So because that's too much, I'm gonna go to the inclusion. And the first thing I like to talk about is like total assessed value. This is not the full assessed value of the home, but it's more like the tax assessed value. So if you're aware about that uh, kind of like properties in there, do you have any idea how much the tax assessed value would be that we could put like greater than certain amount? Because for example, like the home can be like $1 million, and then the tax assessed value is like 300,000, 400,000, or something.
Yeah, if you give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull from a customer's data if I can, just to see. Just need to get the address real fast.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to be showing you this one little trick. So if you zoom in a little, not a little, just to kind of like find one property in here. Let's go in there. Okay, I'm going to click just at the random one. If you click in these, you're going to see the total assessed value like in this exact like resident. and like a couple of more information. So if you like pull up like any other properties that you don't have that much information on, you can kind of like come in here and like see what kind of numbers you have and just do that like accordingly.
Okay. 'Cause I was trying to see. I know some of the target areas. I was trying to look and see for these larger homes what their assessed value would be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was trying to see. I'll have to do a little deep digging and see if I can find it.
So while you're doing that, I would suggest to kind of like test this out. I usually see it's like around 200, 300,000, like roughly said. Would you like me to like try 300,000 and see how many people we have, and then we'll kind of like see what's happening there?
Okay.
Okay, let's try. No, this is one more three. Okay, apply. Now we're gonna give it a moment to load and see. Okay, now we have 166 people,
Yeah, and
residents.
so the
Mhm.
that I'm looking at a property that we do work on them sold for 4.5 million, and its assessed value is 212. So that's when you get to that level, you're probably $1 million plus in our area. It looks like at that assessment.
Okay, so would you like us to go a little
No, no,
lower?
that's that no, that's good. I just was trying to
Mhm.
create a reference to see if we could get a sense in that area what the difference was between assessment and I know in our
Uh,
areas it will be a little bit different from one location to the other, but this is helpful. Now go ahead.
gotcha. Perfect. So in that case, we're gonna leave 300,000 if you don't mind. But 166 people is kind of like not bad, but we can also do a little more digging into the inclusion filters. For example, we could go with the property use and then kind of say like if we want to do like the residential customers or the commercial, the public works, like what kind of property you want to be reaching out. Is there like, would you like to kind of filter out by these or like doesn't matter?
Residential for us would be.
Mhm. Okay. Now let's see how many residential properties we have. Okay, now it's 32. Let's see what other inclusion filters we have in here. So here we could also use the age of structure. Like we could do like that is greater than like 10 years because probably if it's like a new structure, they're not gonna need that much work to be done. So I usually see here like people going around like more than 10 years of the age or something like that. What do you think about this?
Sounds good.
Okay, 10, apply. Okay. Now, all the other ones, I could say that we could also go with the total interior area or the property last sold. These are more like the generic kind of inclusion groups that we could kind of see. Um, I don't know, property last sold, we could go again like 10 years or a little lower, or we can like leave this. What do you think about this one?
Could we
I
use
mean
that
we
to try to find new homeowners?
Yes, this is exactly that. So like, if you do maybe like less than
Yeah.
2 years, 3 years, it's gonna be like
can
new homeowners.
Can we
could
get
we
that
do less
like
than
a month?
6 months? Yeah. We do a lot of new homeowner campaign days, John. One day would be the
They're gonna
first
have
thing
mail
in.
before they even moved in.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's not.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. Not in this market right now. Nobody sold a house.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, I think this is not that much of a good idea.
Yeah.
I can also try like with a year, maybe like 1 year to see if we have any.
Yeah, that'll work. Let's see that.
No,
Okay, you can just
seems
get
like
whatever
not
that
many
gives
people are buying houses,
What
huh?
if
you. Yeah.
now if we eliminated the assessed value off of that?
Okay, let's see, let's see. Yeah, now we have 841 people.
Okay. So that have purchased there. So that's essentially your new homeowner list right there
Yep.
in that targeted area.
For people for houses that are over 10 years.
Yeah. But we can eliminate data man group at this point, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
Would you like me?
a
Would you
win
like
for
me
us.
to go with the 6 months again to kind of see what happens in this case?
Sure.
Yeah, can we also eliminate the age filter? Because that'll probably bring new construction in there too. I'm just curious to see because
Mhm.
for us on our water treatment side of our business, although the plumbing on new construction isn't there, there is a really
Mhm.
good opportunity for us on the water treatment side for new homeowners.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, makes sense. In that case, we can also go like age of structure, like less than certain amount of like months or years.
to make it even new, like only new homes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Would you like us to try that?
Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't know in that area there's going to be a ton of it, but there's probably a few.
Should I go like 1 year?
Yeah, I
Just to
think 1 year.
that. Let's see. Oh.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah. I can try 2 years.
And
And
yeah,
it just goes like by 3 years, three of them.
Hmm.
no.
These builders
Mm,
are not busy in that area.
yeah, seems like it's not that
Well, it
that
also has to
many.
have sold within the last 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
So we're still held up by that. If we went 3 years and sold in the last 3 years, it's probably that probably gives you a bigger number.
True, true. In that case, I just removed that.
Yeah.
So now we have the residential ones that are last sold 6 months ago. Uh, and I'm gonna go again to the inclusion group. And one more thing that we can take a look at is the total interior area. Would you like us to kind of like specify if it should be like greater than a specific amount of square feet, or doesn't matter?
No, because especially in this some of these areas where we are, you're gonna have small square footage and still high property value.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All the other filters are more like specific, like if they have a HVAC cooling system, and if they do, like what kind of a cooling system is. Um, Additionally, if they have the heating system, water source, flooring material, like you can choose how many garages they have or if they don't have, and how many bedrooms, bathrooms to kind of like be more specific. But I think these are like too niche targeting, and it's like gonna exclude a lot of like potential customers. So the reach now is 367. It's kind of like moderate. It's not too large, not too small. And I want to ask you if you'd like us to like maybe exclude some of these like things that are already included, or add any other filters, or like this is good.
I think this is okay. I think we understand sort of conceptually how to play around with it
Hmm.
from here. My one question for you would be, do you know um, how the data is being aggregated and how accurate it is in terms of we were trying to target well water and one of our things and to me
Hmm.
it seemed like the number of properties that it was showing with wells was not accurate. That seemed like the number was low. So I'm wondering
Hmm.
how that data is compiled.
So we're partnering with an outsourced database that is kind of like pulling up this information to Service Titan.
Okay.
So about the accuracy, like will not say that it's like 100% accurate or like not accurate. It kind of like depends, but because it's pulling up from an outsourced database, it's kind of like not in our hands.
Gotcha.
So that's that. And one more thing I'd like to include, this is this option that you always want to make sure that you have checked off for excluding the existing customers during the campaign sending. So you don't reach out to like the ones that you already have.
Hmm.
So this is that. I'm gonna click continue if you don't have any other questions. And we have
It,
this,
can you go back 1 second? Is there a way for me, so if I can exclude my existing customers, is there a way for me to see which of my existing customers are in that database that I just created?
oh, I don't think that it's gonna be showing like separately, but if you just like check off this box, like
Oh,
take the tick, it's just gonna like show them. So it's gonna add the number, but it's not gonna tell you exactly where they are.
But I can see how many though that like so if we show the reach and then take that off and on, that will change the number.
We can definitely try, and it should be, I think, if you do have customers in that area. So I'm gonna give it a moment to kind of like load these
Well,
properties.
yeah, it'd be hard with customers who also purchased home. Yeah, we'd have to go with a bigger test group. That's okay. So now we can do this. I don't want to use this time for that. We can, John and I can play around with that.
Okay, makes sense. Then I'm gonna click continue, and now we have our audience created. One more thing we're gonna do for the campaign, we're gonna go to the Pro Campaigns, create campaign, and create blank campaign, and we're gonna choose the direct mail. Next, and here I would say we could go with customer welcome. If none of these options do match your preferences, you can always go with other, but because this is kind of like a welcome thingy, I will go with this one and I'll do the same thing as I did with like ST example, start building. Okay, so here we have the campaign name. Description is optional. As I mentioned for the email ones, if you create like a lot of campaigns, you can just add some kind of description to easier find them. For the delivery, for the direct mail, I would recommend going with one time because once you go with one time and you create this like campaign, in the end, you're gonna know exactly how much you're gonna be spending on it. And if it's automated, you're like never gonna know. It's gonna like constantly take off money from your account. For the print date, we always want to make sure that we go with the date at least like 5 to 7 business days before you want the postcards to be delivered to make sure that we manage to like print them and deliver them. So for an example, I'll just go December 14th. And here you have an option to do a sequence of the postcards. This is not that much relevant to be fair, but if you create some kind of like campaigns that are like you want to remind them about it, you want to follow up on a previous postcard or something, you can use this sequence and then later on add a sequence in there, okay?
All right.
Uh, the returning address is pulling up from your settings, and here, like if there is any like damaged stuff or if there is like any wrong addresses that you're trying to deliver postcards and it just doesn't get delivered, it's gonna come to this address. So I want to ask you if everything is good for this one.
That's fine for now.
Hmm.
Okay. And for the tracking phone number, just like the email campaigns, if you want to track a revenue, so if you're like kind of like reaching out to customers with postcards that is like asking them to book a job or like reach out to you or something like that, you always want to make sure you add a unique tracking number in here by the same way you would do for the email. So like search for an area code or a zip code and search from the pool of the numbers that ServiceTitan provides. If not, you can enter number manually if it's like a thank you campaign or I don't know, like a happy birthday, something like that, that the revenue doesn't matter. You can go with the manual number as well.
Now, if we've created a number,
Mm-hmm.
like, cause I've gone through, because we also have Phones Pro, so I've gone through that,
Yes.
created a phone number for tracking, and then I
Mm-hmm.
start the campaign. Can I enter
Mm-hmm.
that number manually so it actually gets tracked correctly?
Um, so you have already a number in your Phones Pro and you want to add it manually in
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So like, I can give you one of the numbers right now if you wanted to try it and see if it worked or not. Um,
I mean, we cannot see if it tracks or not because we need to launch the campaign. The postcards need to be delivered
well,
and the revenue.
but I think I've seen an error where it says, "Oh, this is already used somewhere else," and it won't be
Mm-hmm.
tracked. But that's what my thing was. Is like I've created so like let's just say we were gonna send to this exact
Mm-hmm.
ST example,
Mm-hmm.
and previously I was like, okay, I'm gonna be sending to this group, but I created a phone number for tracking that group, and then I start this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I've already created the phone number, and so I'd like to assign that to this campaign. And I think I've seen an error message where it says, "Well, we've already got this somewhere. You're going to break it," and that's the thing. I just wanted to make sure if I could add the real, yeah, the manual one, and you can put in like 484
Um, let me go by.
because
Okay.
that one's yeah, that one would make a whole new one. But yeah, so 484
Mm-hmm.
240
Mm-hmm.
5234.
5, 2, 3, 4.
And I created
So
this one in Service Titan.
So you clicked next and then you received the error.
I think so, or just a little red thing that was on
Oh,
there.
I think it
Okay.
was before. Here, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna delete this. And where did the manual one go?
I think that you're on it
Here.
right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the manual numbers like doesn't because there's not like a way to assign like an existing tracking number in here. I think this is what it's saying. So basically like doesn't matter if you add like anything that already exists or not, because there's not a way to add an existing one and just manually type in. It kind of doesn't recognize it and doesn't like connect each other.
Okay.
But this is actually like a great note in here, and I think if you already have the number like registered in Service Titan that is not attached to any campaign, it should have like the possibility to like calculate the revenue still. So I will kind of raise up this question to my team and kind of see what suggestions they have.
Hmm.
Um, but regardless, if you're like creating the tracking number and then coming in here, you can like create it from here and kind of it's gonna be like easier to make
Right.
sure that it's gonna be tracking.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna go continue. If you already have the audience in here, you can select that. If not, you can create new from this page as well. And now, like the fun part, you can click add content. And we have two postcard sizes. Let's choose this one. And in the top, you can click to browse your template gallery. And here is again like pre-built templates by Service Titan that you can potentially use. For example, let's see, commercial, electrical, garage doors, holiday templates. Yeah, we could take a look at the holiday templates. Okay, for example, Happy New Year ones. You're gonna click on this hyperlink of the size, and then it's gonna navigate you to our partner Canva page. You can use template for new design. And here you can do all the editing you want. Make sure you delete the second page. You don't need that. Here you can delete everything, like match the colors to your logos and everything. Kind of like change the images, the font, and also I would say that you could potentially do like a QR code of your company's website or something, so they would be able to like navigate to your website or maybe social media. And once you're done editing this, you're gonna click share, download, and download it. And once you downloaded it, we're gonna go back and we can just drag and drop what we just downloaded in here, and it's not gonna do that. Okay, we can also upload it. Okay, perfect. So we have this uploaded. Now here you're gonna put the heading. So I'm just gonna say, for an example, Happy New Year, test. And you can upload the logo in here, and it's kind of like up to you. If your body is too long, you can prevent like adding the logo, so you're gonna have more space. If you add the logo, it's gonna appear in the bottom of the site, okay?
Hmm.
And now once you're done doing all of this, kind of like the text and everything, I want you to make sure that you click on the front and see these like dot lines and make sure that all the like important content is inside of these dot lines, because it is possible that like the outside of part might be cut during the printing part. So you want to make sure that nothing important is cut off, and also for the back.
Okay.
And once you're done with this, we're gonna click save and continue, and we're gonna go back to our content. Okay, perfect. Here, if you're willing to add a sequence, you can click on this plus icon, select the delivery date, 23 per se, and just the same way as like for the first one, you're gonna add the postcards and everything, and it's gonna be sending on this exact date. So I'm gonna delete this for now. And once you're done doing this, you're just gonna go in here, and it's on the right side. It's gonna calculate exactly how much you're gonna be spending on printing these postcards and delivering. So this is like the full amount, including everything, and it's 0.70 dollars for each postcard. Here on the left side, you're gonna see the estimated delivery. So because we set the print date on the 14th, the delivery is gonna be like 4 to 6 days, working days after that. So again, I want to make sure that you kind of like pay attention to that, especially if it's like holidays or something. And then the full like summary of what we did. If you're ready, you can go ahead and schedule the campaign. For now, we're just gonna save this as a draft because this is just an example, but I want to ask you if you have any questions.
I do not.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna save this as a draft. And this is actually all for the direct mail. Save. Okay. And one more thing I wanted us to take a look at is our email metrics, like for the analytics portion, because we already have a campaign launched. So here, if we go to our one-time campaigns, we're gonna see the one that is currently live. There's not gonna be like too much stuff because it's like it just went live. But once you click on the campaign, you can see like all the analytics and everything. And here the email metric totals, like how many emails you sent, how many were delivered, opened, clicked. And if you click at one of these numbers, here you're gonna see like more kind of like precise information. And also you're gonna see like how many people unsubscribed, how many people clicked, opened, like pretty much self-explanatory, but you can kind of like find out a lot of data from here. And also you can export this to kind of like find exact things if it's like a huge list. And let's see here if there's like any revenue, any attributed revenue, you're going to be able to locate in here. And you can also click in here. For example, if you have attributed revenue, here it's going to show you the exact job from where the revenue came from. So you can also track that. And that is basically it. Any questions regarding the analytics portion?
I don't think so.
Okay. So we
Oh, wait,
actually
I do
like this
have one
is.
question. Is there,
Mhm.
since we did have a couple people click, is there like a heat map to show what things that people clicked on?
What things people clicked on?
Yeah.
No, it's kind of like if that they clicked on the email,
Okay, but so we don't know. Oh, well, no, that would be
like
open.
they opened the
Yeah, so we
No,
know
but
that
then
more people
clicked means they
clicked.
clicked one of the links or
Yeah. And is there a way to find out what they clicked on?
let's see. No, actually, it's not showing, but it's like on the top of my head, nothing comes to my mind that it does show, but it does make sense. I never thought about like clicking and opening it.
Yeah.
So I will also double check this one to see if there's a way for that. Um, for now, this is the only information that is showing for the clicked. Uh,
Okay.
so I will also double check that and let you know,
All right.
not to like just say anything. So we do have like around like 15 minutes, yeah. And I want to ask you, this is kind of like our last call, and we covered everything like regarding the two questions about, can you actually take a note for like clicking the emails. And also, what was the other question
I
for
don't
the phone
remember.
number?
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Can we put a manual phone number
Yes,
that would
manual
be
one.
trackable?
Okay, I will include the answers to these questions to the follow-up email, but we still do have time and we have our campaign launched. And I want to ask you if there's any questions or maybe like any other kind of audience you would like us to create or campaign or anything else, pretty much.
Um, if if we had a list of people that from like a prior, we purchased a list of addresses or email addresses,
Hmm.
is the only way for us to get them in to run a campaign to that audience to go through the I don't know if it's the onboarding team or whatever to bring that data in, or is there a way that we can import a, an audience with all new contact info?
Oh, no, you're gonna need to import the customers first in Service Titan. And then once you're importing, like you can reach out to your success manager who's going to basically just like bulk import that, but with the help of data team. And once they import it, you also have an option to like add a tag to those customers. Like you can say, I don't know, purchase customers or something like that. And then you would just like create an audience and add that tag, and they're going to be all in that audience. But you need to have them in Service Titan.
Okay.
Anything else?
I think that's it from me.
No, I think so far we're gonna get in here and continue to play around, start to build some of these out.
Sounds good. Sounds good. In that case, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. We are done with the Marketing Pro onboarding. We're free to go live. I will follow up with you with the uh, direct mail, like resources and everything, the recording of this call, the answers to those questions, and a couple of more things to just kind of like have all the data and everything to like play around. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. You can like reply to my email. I'll be here to help. But congratulations, we did it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. In that case, thank you so, so much for joining and have a great rest of the day.
Thanks,
You
you too.
too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.